Hi, I'm Susan Epan. I'm 65 years old. I live in Kerala, South India. That is, I'm a Malayali. I have been posting videos on how I have reversed diabetes, or I have managed to come off medications entirely and maintain a reasonable blood sugar level without going on any extreme keto or any other such restrictive diet. At first I went, my journey is there in my channel, Malayalam channel, under the name of Susan Epan. I'm starting this because many people wanted me to share my experience in an English channel so that others could also benefit from it. I don't have much viewership, and I don't have much more to say also, except that now I am finding ways to manage diabetes in the restrictive days of the lockdown in different kinds of meal patterns. I will not share all the journey because it will only make the video very long. So what I will only say what I have learned through the 2 years from August 2018 when I started this journey. I should not say I started in August 2018. Little bits I did earlier also, but I will say what I have learned since August 2018. More learning was since August 2018 till date, and how I am managing now in the lockdown period. So from my all these experiences, a lot of reading, a lot of hard work, experimenting on myself, learning from others' experiences, what I learned is that diabetes is not such a difficult thing to manage. Diabetes, they say, is because of fat inside your body that is proven beyond doubt by the Newcastle Center for Radiology, or Dr. Roy Taylor and his friends. They found that a person who does bariatric surgery also manages to reverse diabetes. And so what they did is they did some photography of or some radiology or some X-ray type of photography of or ultrasound or something of what happened inside their bodies when diabetes was reversed. And they found that there was a progressive loss of fat from inside their bodies, from inside the viscera, the stomach area, and from around their organs, especially liver and pancreas. So these organs are covered in fat, and the stomach is full of fat even in a thin diabetic, or a person who is thin and does not exhibit any symptoms of diabetes also. This is the state. There is a lot of fat inside the body. A fat person also has this, and the fat is obvious outside also. But in some people, the fat is just confined to under their skin and not into the viscera. So some fat people who have fat only within the skin, under their skin, and not in the stomach or around their organs, they don't experience any diabetes. They are fat but not diabetic. Some people are thin and diabetic, but that is also a problem of fat. So they will have a midsection that is not so thin as the rest of their body. So they will have a protruding stomach, to put it bluntly. And if you take your waist to hip ratio and some that will be above the prescribed average. So reducing fat is the main step that everybody has to take, and there are many methods for reducing fat. The contribution of the keto diet towards reducing fat is the discovery that fat is not the cause of fat. Your eating fat is not what makes you fat or makes you accumulate fat in your body wherever it is. It is the carbs that contribute to the problem. So the carbohydrates, when you eat carbohydrates and fat together, The body uses the carbohydrates and accumulates fat. When you eat excessive carbohydrates also, the same things happen. And now in recent times we have all tried to avoid fat as much as possible, eating only the whites of eggs, avoiding butter altogether, using skimmed milk, avoiding cheese, avoiding coconut oil, using seed oils. But this has not reduced the problem to any extent. And that is how the keto scientists, they explored and found that fat can be used to melt fat. So how the keto diet operates is that they shift the body from a carb burning program to a fat burning program by avoiding carbs altogether and going on a fat burning mode. So they restrict their carbohydrate intake to 12 to 20 grams per day and go on a fat burning mode. They eat fat, they eat protein. Protein you need because there are certain essential amino acids. Essential doesn't mean it is essential for the body. Many of the nutrients are essential for the body. Essential amino acids cannot be manufactured by the body. The other amino acids can be obtained from other foods. So the essential amino acids are the amino acids or the protein is required to build your body, to repair cells, for many other functions. So this keto diet is mainly concentrating on fat and protein. The fat and when you restrict the carbohydrate, body doesn't have any of the carbohydrate. It cannot use carbohydrate as the energy source, and it shifts to ketosis. That means it will convert the fat to something called ketone bodies and burn fat for energy. Most of the body can use fat for energy. It doesn't really need carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is not essential. But some parts of the brain and some other parts like the red blood cells need carbohydrates for energy, and this can be manufactured by the body from the waste products after burning fat. So carbohydrates are not really essential. So the essential and the term essential does not mean it is not required. It is required, but it can be made by the body in required quantities. It is not fully essential. So people do a keto diet to burn the fat. But the problem with the keto diet is that for many, they are continuing on the keto diet. So keto diet requires you to eat a lot of fat, which they call good natural fats, like butter, lard, fat from your chicken or your pork or your beef and other things, and coconut oil and extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and lots of such things. And they eat lots of vegetables. You have to eat the rainbow, all colored vegetables, and 3 bowls of it to get the essential nutrients which are not there in the fat. Some nutrients you get from the fat, but your micronutrients you have to get from vegetables. You are not allowed to eat fruits except in very limited, berries in very limited quantities. And that diet, I found that I could not maintain that diet. I could not even go on that properly, because all these items are very expensive and it is difficult to get these items from local shops, and I have to go out and buy these from shops which import things or which get it from other states, and they are quite expensive. So I went on a low carb diet, a reduced carbohydrate diet, which is not like the prescribed low carb diets, or it does not conform to any specified prescription. So what I found was that you could control diabetes if you could control your carbohydrates. Why carbohydrates? Because as everybody says, and as I found, that you cannot eat unlimited quantities of fat and become fat. You become fat because you eat carbohydrates together with the fat, or you eat too much of carbohydrates. The problem with carbohydrates as we eat is that these carbohydrates promote cravings for more. They are high glycemic carbohydrates. The carbohydrates we eat, like the rice we get in the shops, the wheat we get in the shops, the wheat flour we get in the shops, and our main food is rice and wheat, and those things are very much refined, have very little fiber and very little fat. Earlier we used to eat unpolished rice that had the bran, so it had fiber, it had micronutrients, and we are familiar with rice bran oil. That oil was also there in the rice. It was not so soft and so easy to eat, and you would not eat too much of that rice. Here, the present day rice is not like that. You will eat a lot of it. A lot does not mean a heap, but you eat more, and they digest very fast. You digest that carbohydrate very fast. You feel hungry very soon, and you again eat a snack, and then you have lunch. Then you eat a tea and a snack. Then you have dinner and you have a snack before going to bed. That is what is prescribed for a diabetic also. You eat 6 times a day. You eat the 3 meals, then you add 2 more. You eat 6 or 7 times small meals a day. The benefit of the small meals is that with the small meals, you don't get so much sugar into your body. You don't spike so much. You eat limited quantity, your sugar goes up and then comes down very fast. But the problem with this, as the Dr. Jason from the Fat Emperor, that is Iowa Cummins, and lots of people have told, is that the problem with this is that each time you eat, you spike your insulin. The diabetes, the blood sugar is not the only problem. Insulin is the main problem. It is insulin resistance. Not only insulin, leptin, glucagon, insulin balance, lots of things are there, but we need not go into the technicalities. And if you need to go, I will share, if you ask in your in the comment box, I will immediately give you the resources, so you can go and read or listen to those things and understand the science behind it. So every time the insulin spikes, what happens in your body is that it stores fat. You are eating more than you need to spend in your day-to-day activities. If you look at sites like MyFitnessPal, you will find that you need to exercise a lot to burn the chocolate you eat, or an apple even. So that much exercise, you don't get that much exercise, because nowadays we have lots of exercise saving machinery in our homes. Earlier we used to grind by your hand, grind the dosha atta by your hand, you grind the chutney with your hand, and you pull water out of the well, you draw water out of the well, lots, and you sweep and mop, and lots of exercise was there. You wash the clothes on a stone by hitting it. So lots of exercise was there, and now you live in flats, you don't have so much exercise, you don't burn so much calories, but you eat as you did the same quantities of more refined food, and that is why there is, and you eat a lot of convenience food and a lot of snacks and things you buy from outside, which are full of fats and hidden sugars, and all those fats are not the healthy fats. So this is the problem of today, and you have to reduce carbs, and any carbs you reduce your blood sugar and the spikes and the insulin and the diabetes. And the number of times you eat is also very important, and if you reduce the times you eat, then also you can reduce your blood sugar. So the two most important things are reduce your carbs first, then second, reduce the number of times you eat. So this with this I am stopping today, and then tomorrow or in the next video I will say how I have reduced the carbohydrates and what I have substituted, and the many other methods I have found to control my diabetes, and how I have reduced the number of times I eat, and how that is also to be done. So I will try to put one video I will try to upload a video twice a week. I'll try to upload videos so that I can go fast with this, and you can all get on to the program, whoever decides to. But if you are on medications, please understand I'm only a patient, I'm not a doctor. And if you are on medication, this is going to cause your sugar to drop. It may create things like hypoglycemia, which is very dangerous. So before you try to control, you have to contact your doctor, ask him permission to control your diabetes through diet and exercise and intermittent fasting and things like that. Intermittent fasting you need not go on immediately, or if you have the strength to do of willpower, you can. And you have to have a testing machine to test your blood sugar now and then, and whenever you feel. And initially you have to test it very frequently, and later on you will know the signs, and you have to test only when you feel your blood sugar is going high or low. So thank you for listening. Please subscribe and share. Have a healthy time. Stay safe from the corona, COVID-19 and other pandemics and many other infections that are going around. But a healthy eating pattern can give you a healthy body which is resistant to most diseases.